This is a legend that has been 7 years in the making. The ghosts of 2018 have been laid to rest, and out of the ashes of the gravel roads of the Colle delle Finestre rises a phoenix in the form of Simon Yates. He's done it. He's only gone and done it.
Winner, winner, roast beef dinner. Or what do they eat up there? Yorkie Ripper, isn't that a thing with in the pastry with the roast beef in it? And
Yorkshire pudding. Yeah, He's from Lancashire, but let's keep going.
Anyway, wow. Like we talked about, and we did it in hushed tones. You even said, imagine if the script was flipped, but I don't want to say it too loud. We talked about Froome doing a Froome in 2018 and Simon Yates being the victim of that. Carapaz doing a Carapaz the next year when Roglic and Nibali looked at each other. This, from now on, we will talk about doing a Yates.
This is doing a Yates.
And it is not luck. It's good legs, good management, good teamwork, everything coming together on the day,
belief.
Everything at the right moment, and self-belief as well.
It is
He's won the Giro.
Never giving up, Matt, and that moment, Margaret getting the congratulations there, but as we saw Simon Yates weeping past the finish line, as we see the whole team celebrating, a team who knows what it is to lose a Grand Tour on the last day, to win it on the last day just means absolutely everything. And we were quite emotional watching Simon Yates shedding those tears. This was huge today, wasn't it?
I'm getting a bit choked up just thinking about it, because we love this sport. We're invested. We've had a pop at it ourselves, and you know what it takes. You know what it takes, and that performance. We'll talk about the polemic. We'll talk about the tactics in a minute. But that performance was fueled by, it was fueled by the memories of a capitulation that he's constantly reminded of. Yeah. But the circumstances that the race just fell perfectly for him. But he had to ride the race of his life today on some of the most unrelentingly yet beautiful terrain in the world. That's the ride of his career. That ride might define his entire career. In fact, I think it will. Yeah. He's just won the Giro D'Italia. He's also won the Vuelta. How many riders have won 2 Grand Tours, but such a long period apart? A magnificent win for him, for the team, and for cycling as well. But where are we going to start talking about the rest? I'll leave that maybe to you, Steve-O.
I want Steve to have his word on Simon Yates, first of all, because you did call it, Steve, whenever you came into this studio a week ago. You said that Simon Yates would win. You maybe backpedaled a few times since then, but this is the moment we've been hoping for.
Exactly. When I came in, I backed Yates to win. I just thought efficiency and the way he measures his effort over 3 weeks, I thought he'd win. I did change my mind 25 times during those days. But no, it's great to see. And I think yesterday you sensed a bit of frustration after the way he was, and maybe he was questioning himself in his head, his legs, and the plan of the team and stuff. We can get into that later, but the plan today was perfect, and to have Wout van Aert after, the attack, the legs on the climb in the first step was the first step, and he profited from Carapaz's attack, which kind of happened when the shoe was on the other foot a few days ago, when Carapaz profited from Yates's attack, and then once he got clear, the gap just steadily went out and out, and then he must have had so much morale knowing that Wout van Aert was in front. And
is that bit when he looked down that Rob was describing on commentary, when he just looked down, he could see them like 2 or 3 hairpins behind. At that point, he only had about 1:40, but then he just broke them, didn't he? He just broke them in the most magnificent manner, depending on your point of view.
But, 2 attacks, I think, just so clean.
They were.
Yeah, first one was sort of feeling it out, and they responded, but he just took his time, let them do their thing a few more times, and then went with one big one. And when the others started looking at each other so much, and then I thought that the perfect thing was when Yates had a decent gap and you kept getting those really vicious attacks from Carapaz, but they weren't closing the gap right down. I thought that's only going to be sort of 1 step forward, 2 steps back for the chasers, and the gap's going to keep growing. And Simon Yates must have thought, getting towards the top of that climb, still clear, seeing his rivals down below, and knowing just over the top what was waiting, that's just in the valley. It's a free couple of minutes you're going to get, and time in the wheel, not doing it. I mean, OK, not doing a thing is maybe a bit much, but you've got to ride along. But just perfect execution all day long. And we've said he's been creeping up on it all Giro. He's been there and thereabouts, but very quiet, very sort of stealth in his approach.
Smart.
Yeah.
Experience it, like Steve-O was saying, a steady, conservative ride by him and his team, taking some stage wins on the way. But what a way to cap it off! The complete reverse of what happened all those years ago. But arguably, he rode this climb 5 minutes quicker than Froome, you were saying earlier on, Orla. And on the day, he rode it 18 minutes slower than Froome. So he arguably knows every single bit of this climb and how to ride it. He respected the climb. The way he dropped off earlier on, didn't get involved in all the shenanigans, all the attacking, built his way back up smoothly, and there were 2 clean accelerations, the second one of which took him clear to ride a completely linear effort. It was the perfect execution. And that's what it means. To hear those tears was immensely powerful. I mean, imagine what his family are thinking at home, and even his brother as well.
Yeah.
What a day.
Yeah, Susie and John Yates, I'm quite sure, have been screaming at the television just as much as all the rest of us. Your son has just won the Giro D'Italia by 3 minutes and 56 seconds, no less. What a complete turnaround.
Never in doubt.
Never in doubt. I was the one, I'm going to say, who finished the show yesterday by saying, we keep believing, we keep believing. Easy to say from this standpoint, of course. Much harder to do from within the race, much harder to execute. We could see this morning that morale within that team was good. There were smiles, there were waves. They knew they had nothing to lose and everything to gain. Little did we suspect just how much would be gained on the road today. Let's hear from our MVP of the day, Wout van Aert.
Wow, congrats. You guys won the Giro D'Italia today.
Yeah, this is incredible. I think we didn't really thought about this morning. And yeah, such a brave effort of Simon to go all in from so far. Yeah, I love it when people are not racing for a place of honor. So yeah, chapeau for him.
What you did 2 weeks ago in Siena was incredible, but what you did today, helping him surviving that Finestra, was so valuable for him taking that win today. It looked like a plan that worked out into perfection.
Yeah, once I was in his breakaway, and we had such an advantage, I knew I had a small chance to make it over the Finestre, and of course I'm happy I was valuable, but yeah, it's the effort of the whole team, of course.
It was the effort of the whole team, but let's be honest, Wout van Aert, it was very convenient, wasn't it, that he was the rider up the road. And that's exactly, he summed up exactly what we think. And it's so easy to say when we're watching the race, we don't want to see the riders riding to protect the Ehrenplatz, as he said, the honour places, the minor placings. Of course they're going to, after 3 weeks in a Grand Tour. Of course, a top 10, a top 5, a top 3 is an incredible result. But when you see a rider take the race by the scruff of the neck and shake it the way that Simon Yates did today, it has us all on our feet.
Yeah, there's one thing about riding for a place of honour, a podium place, a top 5, but it's another thing, and it's a different mentality when you've got maybe that good placing, but you've got a chance to win. Mm-hmm. It's worth taking the risk, and he did risk it by going out as well. Said it was impressive. He went from so far on the climb because of a really long sustained effort on the Finestra to get himself in the position. But the way they executed the rest and the way the plan came together, and we could say it's a surprising result the way it worked out. But the amount of time that he took is the shock.
Yeah.
Here's the move, isn't it?
Yeah, talk me through this then, Matt, because it had been sort of a boxing match of jabs to the
that was
face until then.
I think we saw the second move there because he was distanced early on, made his way up, attacked pretty much straight away, got caught, then went again. You could see how clean it was, straight through the apex, carrying a bit of speed, using that slight dip in the road. Everything was smart about it, but it's that real strong. It's not violent, it's just smooth and fast. There's a real clean way he attacks, carried a lot of speed, didn't even look round. A little bit of hesitation. But what he's got the ability to do, when Simon's on form, he can just keep it going. So he doesn't go right up into the red and back down again. He smoothly accelerates to a point and just holds it. It's a very different style of riding, suiting these long sort of climbs. He rode it to perfection. Had to have good legs, but of course rode a conservative Giro, relatively speaking. All in, all chips on the table for the final day. That was some demonstration today.
Yeah, I also noticed as well when as soon as he hit the gravel, you know, his normal style is a little bit out of the saddle.
Yeah.
Good, I wanted to ask you this.
It just looked like it was a area he concentrated on with the team to just sit on the gravel and just be super smooth once he hit that gravel.
100%.
And I was wondering if he went in the attack so early to try to gain some sliding room by the time they got to the gravel, because he is the one who expressed the most discomfort, of course, going on to that sector, knowing that Richard Carapaz and Isaac del Toro would quite enjoy that, relatively speaking. So maybe it was a move preempting the terrain to come that then also fell in his favour.
Could be. It could also be the biggest bluff we've heard this race. Because as Steve just said, and I just wondered, I was going to say, Steve, what about the riding style? And you went straight into it. And we spoke about it earlier in the day. Like Simon, you see it with him and Adam, obviously very similar, actually identical. But they ride out of the saddle a lot. You saw in the final climb almost continually out of the saddle all the way up. But as Steve said, on the gravel, a very different climbing position and style for him that's something he knows the climb, but he's gone into the details, and I'm sure there's been more preparation go into that gravel section, the approach to it, what he needs to do, including style-wise, what sort of riding position he adopts, than just get there and do it.
We had a really intriguing prospect at one stage of hearing that maybe Simon's twin brother, Adam Yates, was perhaps going to be able to make his way back on to the chasing group and help Isaac del Toro trying to keep the pink jersey from his twin brother. It didn't happen in the end, but shall we hear the reaction to Simon Yates' win from his twin? Here's Adam Yates.
Adam, I just witnessed a special moment with you together with Isaac, with Rafa, with Brandon. How you guys were giving each other high fives and so on. How was that moment? And also, your brother, he stole the race completely.
Yeah, not exactly sure what's happened in the front, but I think we can't be disappointed. I mean, we did a good race all the 3 weeks. Isaac is still young. I don't even know how old he is. He's like 21 or something. You know, it's his first Giro, and he's got many years ahead of him. So we did a good race. You know, when one guy goes like this, goes crazy, whether it's my brother, whether it's Pogacar, you know, someone like this, you know, that's how it is. Someone has better legs than you, and you have to take it on the chin and accept how it is. So, like I said, we did a good race. Okay, we didn't win, but I think we can't be too disappointed.
Did you have the chance to say hi to Simon?
Yeah, just quickly now when I said also to Isaac, said a good job. I mean, like I said, I don't know exactly what happened, but on this last climb we were going so fast at the beginning, and like I said, we did a good race, but when one guy is just a little bit stronger, then you have to take it on the chin.
And then one guy being your twin brother. If your family, friends back home are watching this, what does that make you feel and think about Simon?
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone that's going to win other than us, it's my brother. Is you know, my favourite. So yeah, happy for him, and I'm sure after when I speak to him, I can congratulate him and also celebrate a little bit. But like I said, we did a good race, so we can't be disappointed. And yeah, Rome tomorrow we'll celebrate and enjoy the last 3 weeks.
Well done, Simon. Thanks a lot. Adam, sorry.
Thank you.
Damn it, you've been doing so well, Anders. You can be forgiven for getting them confused. They are obviously in different teams, very different race scenarios. I found that a really interesting interview as we watched Simon Yates take to the pink jersey podium for the first time in this race, listening to his twin brother speaking about the team effort, how we had performed. Speaking about Isaac del Toro, he only got to see Simon on his way to seeing Isaac. You've got to understand, obviously, that it is a team effort that is forefront of his mind and obviously forefront of his interview as well. This is the job he's paid to do. But you would suspect that somewhere deep in his heart there is that sort of punching of the air all the same for his twin brother, Matt.
Definitely. I did sense a little bit of duality there.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a UAE Team Emirates jersey on. They had the jerseys today. They haven't got it. It's his brother. I would imagine he might have wanted to give it a different sort of interview.
Probably... He did really well to not.
Yeah. So that was super pro, but deep down he's thinking, yeah. I mean, it's hard. So yeah, and I totally get it. Yeah, they don't give much away, these lads, but I tell you what, this lad, for the first time ever, I've never seen, I don't think any of us have seen him break down in tears.
No.
And not even after his win in the Vuelta. This is so different. And on many levels, so unexpected at the start of the day. But as his brother quite eloquently said, when somebody's just that little bit better, you've got to doff your cap, and it happens to be my brother. And what a special moment we're witnessing now as he pulls on that beautiful jersey.
A special moment and such a special day. Simon Yates started the day 1 minute and 22 seconds off the lead of the Giro D'Italia as he pops that bottle and sprays the bubbles over the fans, the confetti fluttering in the breeze. He can celebrate a win of 3 minutes and 56 seconds over Isaac del Toro as he kisses that jersey, paying tribute to the team who have helped him here. The team he berated himself for this morning for calling into question at the end of yesterday, admitted he was simply frustrated with his own performance, frustrated with how the stage played out. No frustration today, simply jubilation. Winning this Giro d'Italia by just shy of 4 minutes. Richard Carapaz finishing in 4 minutes and 43. The podium separated by almost 5 minutes. Derek G at 6 minutes and 23. We said at the start of today, and I made no apology for repeating it over and over again, that anything can happen in this race. And it did, Steve. Everything blew to pieces, didn't it?
Absolutely, and I think tactics are the big part of what's happened here. You know, the EF and UAE, they would have, in the final scenario, they would have preferred to have someone in front. I think that could have really helped. And when Del Toro was with Carapaz and they stopped working, the gap just went out, and that was because Van Aert was there with them. And that's not taken away from anything from Yatesy and what they did on the climb, but it just contributes to what an effort, not just individually, but the team.
Yeah, at least the race didn't come down to bonus seconds.
Yeah, thank goodness.